let's go through and edit the title. This is a New York stream. Action stream with the return of the live streams. We don't need that. Perfect, that'll do. Come and give me your questions. Let's talk. Hello, people. Most people aren't going to want to see those candles, but we'll leave it like that until we have some active people. Hello. What else do we need to add? If I put in announcements. Good morning. If people have questions, feel free to leave them and then we can start talking about various topics. It's been a long time since I've been streaming. It's fine, I'll deal with it. We'll start off just by seeing what's what. Let's put some regular candles on just for everyone to see. Is my audio okay? That's also a good question, because sometimes my audio can be a bit off, especially as I've recently been travelling with this same microphone, so if my audio is off, do let me know. I took down one Christmas tree. That Christmas tree was up all of last year as well. I've taken the decorations off it, I just haven't put the tree down yet. I was travelling over winter though, so I just kind of left that one. But the main one in the living room is down. It's just like the office tree at this point, because it sits all year. So I put that tree up in ready for Christmas 2021. And it hasn't come down since. Does anyone have any questions for me? If not, then we're just going to start looking through the charts, see if we can find anything of interest, and then we'll go from there. Right. Ooh, that's a nice buy. Nice, even despite the structure with the TP. You'll find that lots of these won't be coming through as signals because the signals are set to Renko charts, which I will show now. So these are Renko charts. You'll notice there's no wicks. Everybody is the same size, but the amount of time they take is differential. So because every body has to be the same size, you have to wait for the amount of time for it to be filled. So although it says 1 minute, if I go to the 15 minutes, it's going to look the same. because these are set to 25 pips. Yeah, 25 pips. Hello. We have 8 viewers, nice. Right. So currently on a Renko chart. Renkos, I like Renkos. They are very, very easy to read. You can get your support and resistance really fast from them, just simply because there are no wicks in the way. It just makes your life so much easier to read them. For instance, we can just plot a single line here because it grabs off the bottom of this one and near enough the top here and these. It's really straightforward. Again, you can just draw lines and you're near enough right. So I like Renkos. They probably do look a little bit confusing, and they can be a little bit challenging to set up, but I do like them. Also, for instance, BTC, I'm going to have to go and change the time frame because 1 cent is a bit small for that. And every trade is nice and linear. Let's see. In fact, I should probably add alerts for it. How do I feel about GU? Let's have a look. I'm needing to adjust my time frame. GU has been nice and bullish. I do like to see GU bullish. I always feel the benefit of both economies. It's nice when GU sits higher. If it could go to like 1.4, 1.5, it would be more beneficial. As for an entry, you might get an entry in maybe 2 Renko bars time. So I imagine our entry would be somewhere over here. Hang on, if I measure a bar, so that's 1 Renko bar, somewhere around there. So maybe somewhere around here would be where I would expect to see an entry. It's going to be about that big for a stop, and the take profit would then be about here. So that's when I would expect to see our entry. Currently, you're finding you've got this over here, which is causing resistance here. That's why it's a bit consolidatory. But as soon as this kind of breaks above this level, you should fire up, which is why I think it'd be most beneficial if we get our entry somewhere around sort of 2455-ish. Let's get that. But again, I'll mark this level up just so that everyone else can see it. You can see that it starts here, and this is where your rejection is. Ciao, ciao. Catching the trade should be the easy bit. You'll get your signal, but I imagine it's going to be the 1 candle above the line. If we want to go to a normal candle to check it out quickly, let's go to Heikin-Ashi, and then you can see, oh, this is 1 minute, this is not trade off the 1 minute. Off the 1 hour, again, you can see a lot of rejection, nothing overly interesting, regular candles. Let's have a look. It looks like it's actually pulling away, so we may end up getting a sell signal if it continues to do so, but I would believe, based off the highest of time frames, you're more likely to see a push up and through. It's a nice level, especially when you see that you've got wicks here and all these bodies in through here. And again over here. Does anyone have any questions for me? And we'll probably get to execute a Renko trade at some point. We have got a fresh one on NZD USD, however we do need the candle to fully close. But if price continues pushing up a little bit, we could get that closure. Just checking what trades have been taking on MT4. We have got a Euro USD trade currently from the signals, and the signal trade is this one here. Yeah, it's this one here. Yeah, that's the right number of decimal places. Yeah, it's been active a while. So this should be a pretty decent one. Again, if we jump to the daily, which doesn't actually make a difference for normal candles, but we'll go to regular candles and we'll see what we've got to see. See that there is a kind of level in through here. I'm just going to mark it up for people. So I'm going to mark from here to here-ish. So you can see that we're kind of in a zone based off the bottom of these wicks into the spike of these ones. You can see that there is something interesting going on here. Maybe just mark it like that for the entire range. So you can see that we are currently in a zone, and that's normally where we get the best signals from. And then if I drop back down to Renkos, you'll see that we've had consistent buys working up towards the level, and we're currently in one going through it, as it's just kind of consolidating in and around it. And if I go back to GU, that's exactly what I expect GU to do. So as GU comes up to this sort of level, it's just going to sit, consolidate, and then you might break up and through, get your signal, and then you'll move. If I just run through some pairs. So NZD USD, we'll expect probably the signal either to become another one, or we will, well, I mean, this is from the 26th, so it's been a fair while, but NZD USD is a little bit slower than a lot of pairs. That's why if you looked here, which isn't much history, it's already November. So you consider that that's all the way for like 3 months at this point. And then as we start stepping up the volatility in different pairs, you'll see more in terms of movement. So for instance, again, this is all of January in maybe 30, 40 candles. I can measure it actually. 51 candles is the entire of January. Have we got anything interesting? So we did find a level here, which kind of makes sense. You got this one right here, there's some consolidation in through here, so it does make some sense. And then if we go to NZD CAD, again, this one has even less volatility, so you've got maybe a dozen candles total. Let's just measure it. 38 candles, and we're in the 38th candle, so what is it doing? It's consolidating, it's kind of stuck in a range. It looks like your range is between here and here. It will probably break at some point, be it to the upside, which it would have to come up to this level before you would get your sort of breakout, because that's where these are and over here. And then to the downside, you're really going to have to be breaking around here before you get a good clean move. So you're kind of range bound in that one. Euro GBP is again just consolidating. Had some movement, but again, it's a very muted pair and you tend not to get a lot of excitement. It's 17 bars for the entire month. USD CHF, I've currently got a magic fib drawn. Let's just move that out of the way. You see that we had a very strong push down through November, and then it's been much less due to the lack of volatility across December and into the beginning of January. Had a small little push through here and here, but it's now just sitting around. We'll probably get through the monthly candle without anything major happening, and then you'll see more. AUD-CAD has been accelerating again. It's sort of consolidated and now is pushing back off as of like the 5th of January. Found some resistance at the 9500 psychological level, which is again psychological. It also comes up in the center of a magic fib when we draw it. In terms of anything of meaning, we're currently pushing towards this level, so hopefully we can find some sort of resistance here, support here to then push further, although it's much more likely that we'll come down to the 93820 level. Euro USD we've covered, we're expecting it to be buying up and through that range. And AUD NZD is normally trending, however it doesn't move particularly quickly. You do find you will get stuff like this, which is a whole month where you can get a reasonable push and then into another one. However, although it's always trending, it's not often heavy trends. It's, when these are 25 pip blocks, it can take a little bit of time. What would I expect from it? I would like to see a sort of reversal, maybe from somewhere around 108.750, somewhere in that sort of range. This is moving up nicely. We've had one bar, we're on to our third bar now. You can see that it came from a line on the it broke up through a magic fib, pulled back through, and it gave our signal on the retest, which is exactly where you want it. We'll expect it to come up towards this next line, which is where you'll have the 1.5. That's misdrawn slightly. 1, 2, 2. So you'll expect it to come up to this 1.15. It's a nice clean move. So currently we're looking at something like this. We've had this part, and now we should see the second extension, which should come up somewhere here. Nice, clean, easy to follow. And this is again why I like using Renko charts. Everything is easy to follow. This, all you've seen is you've seen it hit a zone, pull back a little bit of support forming, and now you should see it push up and through. This had consolidated, pulled back, pushed through. You might find it will now come tap the line and then pull all the way down. Or you might find that it's just testing this sort of level. Anyone has any questions, do let me know while I'm going through pairs. Nothing interesting here, you've just got to wait. Euro AUD, we had a short, in fact we've had two shorts recently, and then it's ripped up. It's fine. Yeah, that's quite a hefty push. does line up with a bunch of other take profits, this one and this one in particular. And if we zoom out, you can see that we've had some interest at this level before. So if I mark it up, 1, 2, 3 points of contact there, 4 points of contact, the little break and retest here. If I go back through time, you'll probably see others here. So is that not the most surprising? It's kind of annoying that we would have been stopped out, but it happens. We're only supposed to win, I think it was about 40-something% on that pair. Let's open strategy tester and have a look. %46% of trades on that one. So to lose a couple is fine. Again, profit factor is high enough that we know we should be winning overall. GBP CAD. Kind of interesting. There's definitely something in here that it likes the look of. It does also look like it's starting to try and reverse. Maybe from more bullish, which would make sense because then it would line up with GBP USD. Euro NZD, we had this short earlier which was annoying because it immediately lost. But again, if it lines up with Euro ORD, then it should start pushing up further and we'll probably get a buy somewhere here, maybe after this break. GBP ORD. Last week we had that, but we did come off of 3 monstrous trades, which all hit take profit. Even this big trade here would have. Let's see what it's doing. We've got a retest of what seems like an important level. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 taps, and even more through here. So you might find that it sits and goes. Well, we've had this somewhere around here. You might find it do this. It'll either do that or it will go like that. We've just got to wait for this sort of level to stop being of interest, essentially. This we need to jump to regular 1 blocks probably. 1 block is fine. It's interesting that we've broken back below the 80 mark. Long-term bearish on LMI because we've crossed back under zeros. We could see a sell trade somewhere like here probably. Again, 1 to 3, so somewhere maybe this level. Yeah, that's about what it would look like. So maybe we get something like that. I'm just going to put those. Pressed mute, I'm glad to say it worked, not. Although maybe it did work, I don't know. So yeah, maybe we get a short somewhere around there. It's a DJPY just consolidating all the time. All the time consolidation. Maybe say that it could continue pushing up more. Could push up. I mean, it is long-term bearish and short-term bearish, but maybe jump. Yeah, there's nothing of interest there. You've just kind of got to wait around. GJ. I have a feeling it's going to push up more, but you're stuck between a lot of noise. That's a lot of noise in there. Maybe don't trade GJ. Life lesson, don't trade GJ. I'm going to need to make these bigger. I mean, the fact it broke back within is a sign that it doesn't really want to continue. It is also sitting at support, because you've got a lot of bodies in through here. You're going to have to wait for a breakout on this one. Go to gold. Yeah, let's make these smaller for gold. Probably like one is enough for gold, probably. Yeah. Bit more, maybe 2 or 3. Or 5. That's nice. You found really nice support here. It's not what I wanted to do. It's Alt H, not Windows H. Nice bit of support. Could then see a nice propel up further. What we got over here, nothing major of interest. So maybe we get a long trade somewhere here, I would have thought. I'm going to say it's going to come off that one, I would have guessed. And it's going to look something like this. Something like that. Again, you've got to wait for the signal, but that's about what I would expect. This has given us a trade. We've got long-term bullish on LMI as well, short-term bullish on LMI. Got this candle to break above. Is there anything else in that sort of level? No, it's pretty clean charting otherwise, although it did drop. Hang on. I stand corrected, we're on way too small of a thing for that. Even that's a little bit small, but we'll go with it. I probably want to run 100. Depends if you're scalping. I'll say we're scalping. This kind of needs to either break above this or to show more of a reversal, which probably could get another nice downwards leg, or we could get a nice hefty upwards leg. Given we've got short-term bearish and long-term bearish on LMI, it's not looking good for it. BTC ripped. Got one good trade. This one would have hit stop loss. 2 big trades. This one would have hit profit. These two would have hit loss. This one's a loss, but 1, 2, 3 big trades out of the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 3 and 7. When it's a 3-to-1 risk reward, it's normally fine. Oh, that's another nice big trade. And that one. Remember, we can trail stop as well, so for people who are like trading like that, you can trail stop it. This is almost up into its take profit now. Hasn't taken long. Oh, hang on, there must be news. Because that was like 4 minutes. Forex Factory. Was there news? No. Okie dokie. I expected news. Well, it would go and hit take profit in about now, so that'd be nice. Again, we won't say this one yet, so 1, 2, because that would have hit, 3, because that would have hit because it would never hit stop loss price, so 3 out of 3, this one hit stop loss, so 3 out of 4, this one never hit stop loss price, 5 out of 4, no, if it was 3 out of 4, it's now 4 out of 5, 5 out of 6, 5 out of 7, because this one would have gone 6 out of 7, 7 out of 8, 8 out of 9, this one would have hit stop loss, so 8 out of 10, that's pretty good. That one's just gone past it, so yeah, this one would have also been, so 9 out of 11 trades hit take profit. Does anyone have any questions for me? If so, then I can sit and answer them, because otherwise this is a very, very boring stream without any questions. You can either put them in here or you can put them in the Discord. I am currently looking at both. Are your Renkos on US 30 set closed, traditional, box size 10 and set on the 1 minute chart? Oh, also my freeze settings are 4, 7, 22, 2 and like that. So you might want to copy those. The Renko setting for Forex pairs, which are low numbers, so like GBP, AUD and numbers in and around there, are 25 pips, which is 0.0025. And then for oil and like JPY pairs, it's just 1.0. And then NAS US 30 is set to 10. And then make sure you have your chart on like the 1 minute chart, because if I put it on the daily, because TradingView only pulls its data for Renkos in the time frame of chart you're on, you can see that on this it's very straight lines, but in reality it's not. I will do a Renko settings video after this. In fact, I might even just clip part of the live stream and do it, because then it's pretty much done. But yeah, Renko's, you want to be on a low time frame chart so that it's constantly polling and updating, but then set your boxes to traditional and the size you want. If you have it set to the ATR one, which is here, if you have it set to ATR, then you can't have alerts. So because we want alerts on our charts, we have to set it to traditional. No, it does not. So normal forex pairs and then NAS and US 30, etc. So if I go back to GBP USD, then from US 30, then often it comes up no data, and I just have to go in and go 0.025 and quickly type it in. But if I'm jumping around forex pairs, it's fine because it remembers it. Also, if you have alerts set, it remembers the time frame of the alert. So you can, if you have alerts set, you can just go and jump from thing to thing. So if I go to, let's go to US 30, and I'll set it up for how I would trade US 30, which is on a box of 10. Now if I click on an alert, let's pick GU, you can see that it snaps right to where it should be. Because when you click on an alert, it opens the chart to the settings that it was set to. So for instance, I could have a completely different setup, but as soon as I click the alert, it will revert my chart to the snapshot of as it was when I set the alert originally. But this is also why when I'm sitting and looking at my things, I do this so that I can have all of my sort of conventional forex pairs in one small section. Then I just change my number by 1. Then I change it again for the last few. So I can reduce the amount that I have to edit it, because I can literally sit and spacebar my way through knowing that all of these up until here are correct. Are the LMI settings the same as with normal bars? Yep, the only difference is I set this to area and remove the plots, but again it's personal preference. If I wanted to trade with it as a line, it's still more than doable. Because of how Renko's draw, it becomes a bit more like sawtoothed, but it's still viable. It's just more sawtooth in shape. Does anyone have any questions for me? If so, then I can answer them. I'm going to go grab some water. By the way, I do also recommend trading with Renko charts, especially if you're someone who struggles psychologically, then Renko charts you'll find are most beneficial. Just because you don't get faked out with wicks so much, and it's easier to see your support and resistance, and it's easier to take a trade because, for instance, look at this, and we're going to mark it in through. That's the wrong direction. We're going to set a mark from here to here. In fact, I'm going to mark it one candle past. And so we've marked a range. If I go put that to regular candles, I'll run it on the daily for you. You can see that on the daily, it is pretty smooth, but then as soon as we're on a time frame which is meaningful to a lot of people, lots of people will see this consolidation and get out. They'll see this consolidation and get out. They'll see this consolidation and get out. Like, if you're trading on Renkos, everything is smoother and much, much easier for you to deal with. You're going to get less psychological, like, games as such, because it's smooth. It's smooth and it's smooth. Versus, look at all the people who are going to get stuck in this box. They'll get stuck in this box. They're going to get stuck in this box. So when you're trading Renkos, all you have to do is, let me just jump back to Renkos. You can just sit and wait for a signal and just ride the trend and just follow what everything is telling you. And again, if we look at like conventional forex pairs, we pick the entire month of January, so from here, wrong key, so that's the entire month of January from here onwards, and we put it in normal candles. Who's trading that happily? Not many people. The psychology of trading something like that is awful. Even on like the 2 hour, it's still really choppy. And for instance, if I put the open freeze, it's gone down from like it's currently 31.9% profitable and negative profit factor. If I put it to Renkos, because of the smoothness of how Renkos operate, look, we've gone all the way up from 0.9 profit factor, which is losing money, to 3 and a bit times your money. Let's just get rid of the strategy tester. And again, you can see, yes, you had some consolidation, but you do get much nicer moves. If I just mark this move, for instance, let's get rid of this line as well, and jump to candlesticks. This is on a 2 hour, which is relatively smooth anyway. You can see that you've had, as it started pushing, it then pulled back, consolidated, and all of these wicks are potentials for you to have your psychology tell you, hey, you need to leave this trade because it's going to go against you. When in reality it just sat and then went up. Again, if I was to show you Heiken Ashis are often praised for being smoother, but they're consolidating. Like, they're still consolidating and showing you something different to a Renko. Renkos are just much smoother. And then again, if I show you like a line break is very similar to a Renko. I prefer Renko because they're all the same size. I have no idea what line break actually means quantifiably, but yeah, I always think Renkos are better than line breaks. And then if we were to look at others, the range is okay, I guess. It's really hard to read, but it's tradable if you're used to it. People who trade this, I don't even know what you're looking at, and the same with Kagi. I don't even know what you're looking at. It just looks like someone's playing Snake. And again, area or line aren't helping you. High-low isn't helping you. The 3 candles that you should look at are Renko, Heiken Ashi, or regular candles. Anything else is not worth your time. My preference has always been towards Renkos, but I'll make other candles work if I need to. For you, it's whatever fits you. So now we've had like a quick discussion of different candle types, I guess we can move on to something a bit more interesting. If anyone has any questions, because I don't have any topics for this lesson. I came unprepared. Also, I guess we can talk about the signals program and stuff like that at the moment. Let me just change my OBS quickly. Window capture. So currently we have got the signals running. If we are looking at the signals, we can see a few that have been triggered today. We had some BTC ones. This was while I was trying to get something running, and I'll show you what we were getting running. So currently, just so that we can then start going through various prop firms and proving the profitability of the signals, I have gone through and connected first things first, it was just connecting a little demo account to the signals, just so that we can get it running, test everything, see how it looks, and you can see that we currently are in the EURUSD position, the position. This was during testing. I put buy limits on BTC from the signal bot, and then we had a Euro NZD one, which didn't put the right lot size in, but it's okay. So we're currently going through and testing the ability for having the signal algorithm to place directly onto MT4 client, which we're currently testing. Once that's done and I've optimized everything settings wise, I will be pushing it to do my Forex funds, FTMO, 5%ers, Maverick, Audacity, all of them as a step-by-step process. So we'll start off with like one MFF account. Once it's past that, it can do another one. Once it's past that, it can do another one. That obviously gets us to the maximal 3. Then it will go to an FTMO, and then another one and another one. And then after that point, we just start picking random prop firms and being like, right, what can we go for next? And the aim is just simply to get the system so it's loaded up on the maximal possible on prop firms and just keep passing tests with it. Even if I have to put accounts under other people's like family and friends' names just so that I can go and do more tests, I want to keep passing prop firms with it just so that I can prove to everyone, hey look, our signals are reliable and consistent, and this is the data to show it. Obviously, we do expect around like almost 50% of our trades to be losers, but when you're running at a 3-to-1 risk reward, it doesn't really matter. I mean, if you consider that our take profit and this one is all the way up here versus a stop loss that's sitting just here. So a 3-to-1 risk reward is, for most people, more than enough, especially if you've got that 50% win rate, which we know statistically we do have. So if we now jump back to this, which is tucked behind everything, there we go. Now we've got the charts back open, you've seen what we're currently playing with. And if anyone has any questions on how we've got that set up when it's starting to go through prop firms and doing things like that, I will make a video on how we've got it connected and everything, so that you guys can also do something similar. We probably won't offer account management with it though, just simply due to the nature of the risk involved, especially when it comes to licensing and stuff like that as a formal company. But yeah, in the meantime you can sit and enjoy this. I will also quickly check the news once more. There's nothing major in there, there's nothing major in here. I'm just going to close that because there's nothing more. Does anyone have any pairs that they want me to look at? And if they want me to look at it on a regular candlestick structure, that's fine, you just have to say. Also, if anyone has any questions, they're probably some sort of method questions in the Discord over the last few days. I've seen people like questioning about price movements and stuff like that. So if anyone does have any questions, do let me know. I'm happy to answer them. This is moving up nicely. You should find you'll get another buy signal somewhat soon. This buy would currently still be running. Actually, would it, if I go to the 1 minute chart? Now we've got the accurate pictures. This buy did go and hit stop loss, but because the 2 hour wouldn't have printed quick enough, it doesn't look like it did. So this is better. This would still be running. This would still be running. We jump to oil again, because oil is somewhat interesting recently. I've been enjoying looking and watching oil. I just feel like it's a nice thing to watch for trades. Do I actually place trades on oil? Is a no, but do I like watching the price of oil move? Yes. It's quite a nice pair to sit and watch. If anyone has any questions about our signals, let me know. I'm assuming everyone in the chat is a current subscriber, but I might also be wrong. But yeah, if people want information, or even if you just want to see different win rates, for instance, like I know you might want to see the win rate for oil, which in this case is 45% at 2.5 for a profit factor, or if you want to see GJ's win rate, which is terrible, but we can change the settings to make it work. But am I going to go and change the settings? No, I can't be bothered. Or something like Ethereum. Ethereum's actually really good. That's a nice profit factor of 4-1. That's because we're over 50%. When with profit factor being a hard, so your percent profitability has a meaningful effect on your profit factor. So if you've got a very good percentage profitability, then your profit factor will also be high. So for instance, although our trades are only 3-1 risk reward, because we've got a 55% profitability, our profit factor is already nearly 5. So for every $1 we would lose, we would gain 4.88 in theory. And with a max drawdown that low, that's pretty impressive actually. Let's try and wind that right up to see what happens. Still under 1%, just put 100% in. So at 1% total drawdown over the last 1,600 trades, it would have made 770% gain, which is pretty impressive. So let's put that back down. I normally just test with it and use it with around 20%. It's normally enough. So that's to 10. And things like NAS, 60% profitability. If anyone ever tells you they're 60% profitable on NAS, that's something to look at and consider very, very highly, because NAS isn't necessarily easy to trade. In fact, I will even set long trade, and I'm going to open Notepad because I have handwritten how to do this properly, which is why I have a notepad for it. We'll add that in, and we will add the short trade. There. I'm going to very quickly adjust the signal copier. done. Although I don't actually think it can take a NAS trade anyway, because IC Markets doesn't do NAS. It does their version, which is US Tech. Yeah, NAS 100 doesn't exist. Sweet, so it won't have any issues with that. Hello, how can I help you? Nifty, sure. Nifty 50. I think my doorbell just rang as well. Or at least someone's knocking at it. I'll go check in a second. Right. Nifty is a high-priced thing. We might have to bump up the gap size, but we're going to start on the strategy tester. Okay, so strategy tester in like heavily scalping mode, it's 58% profitable at a almost 5.6 win rate. So at 0.26% drawdown, it still made 35%. However, I would rather run this a little bit higher. Let's try running it at 25. That cuts our trades down significantly. Still a good profit factor. I'm going to quickly check if that was my front door. It was not my front door. Also remember, we can adjust it to try and get higher win rates. So for instance, and I can probably do this very quickly, if I just drop that back down so it's 1-to-1 trades, 64%, but it's actually a lower profit factor, which is interesting. So it does prefer that slightly higher profit factor. So somewhere around, this is actually one pair where it wants an even higher take profit, but what we can also try is having an aggressive stop, a trail stop. So that's in points. Try 1,000. Yeah, so we can get a win rate which is 64%, which is high, and a profit factor of almost 8, which is like beyond normal. Yeah, it should be good enough. Does that help? try German 40 as well while I'm here. German 40 works too. Does anyone have any pairs or indices or random things that they want me to run with it and see if it works? So Adani will pump quite strange at the moment. I've seen the news for it because I was actually reading it at like 3 AM this morning because it was in Khaleej Times, and it looks like it's okay because there was a risk that because he's under investigation with some of the bookkeeping, but I think it's all okay and it'll probably be fine. That's probably why you're seeing quite a hard pump. So, let's put $1. Yeah, you should see a fair old range of movement, especially at the moment, just simply owing to the volatility. There was a NAS 100 signal. Yeah, it didn't. Yeah, there's quite a lot of volatility. Does anyone have any questions for me? If not, then I may call it done for the day. It's been how long of a stream? How long have I been streaming? Oh, an hour and 5 minutes. That's not bad. First stream back this side of Christmas, which is quite nice. I think I stopped end of November from memory. Check the signals. Yep. As always, if you want more content from us, then if you're not a subscriber already, then feel free to click subscribe. If you're not in the Discord, then the Discord is where all the file action is, which is discord.gg/entry. Did I run ads this stream? Absolutely not. Did I forget? Yes. I will see you all tomorrow for the next one. I don't know if it's going to be London or New York yet. But I will keep everyone up to date in the Discord. I will see you all in the next stream. Have fun, everyone.